Welcome, everyone. So, I want to start with a question for you. What if the world you see, hear, and touch isn't actually the real one? Today, we're diving into a fascinating text called A Journey to Higher Realms that makes that exact claim. And it gives us this incredible map of the cosmos that's hiding just beyond our senses.
Okay, so let's just jump right in with the big question this text hits us with from the get-go. It wants us to think about a pretty radical idea. What if this solid, physical world we live in every single day is not the true reality?
To even begin this journey, the text says we first have to wrap our heads around a core concept. In Telugu, it's Kani Pinche Deeb Abodam, which basically means what you can see is false. This idea is the key to understanding the grand illusion known as Maya. So what is this Maya? Well, the source explains it as this massive illusion that tricks us into believing that the physical world is all there is. It's arguing that what our senses are picking up is really just a temporary show, a construct, while the actual reality is something we can't see at all. And this isn't just some abstract philosophical idea. The text is very clear. Actually realizing that our world is an illusion is the absolute first step. It's like the non-negotiable price of admission for any soul that wants to travel to these higher planes of existence.
All right, so now that we're questioning our own reality, let's pull back the curtain and look at the map of the cosmos that this text presents. It describes a universe of infinite realms, or Ananda Loka Lavishvam in Telugu, and it's way bigger and more organized than you might think.
See, drawing from Vedic scriptures, the source tells us the universe isn't some random chaos. Nope. It's actually this very carefully structured system of 14 primary realms, or lokas, and each one is its own distinct plane of existence with its own rules. And here you can see that structure laid out. I want you to notice how Earth, which is called Buloka, is sitting right there in the middle. It's kind of like the neutral ground, a cosmic crossroads between 7 higher, more spiritual realms and 7 lower, denser ones. But wait, it gets even wilder. The source then introduces this concept of a Brahmanda, an entire cosmos or universe. And here is the truly mind-bending part. It says there are infinite Brahmandas, a multiverse of countless universes, each one with its own unique life forms and its own flow of time. You know, it's funny. The text even points out that modern science is exploring similar ideas with string theory and multiple dimensions. So let's zoom back in from that infinite scale and focus on our starting point, Buloka, our home, Earth. The text also calls it Mrithyuloka, the realm of death. Now, that sounds a bit grim, but it's not meant to be scary. It's just because this is the plane that's defined by that endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. Our physical existence right here, our very bodies, are said to be made from a mix of 5 core elements, the Panchatattvas: earth, water, fire, air, and ether or space. This is literally the stuff we're made of here in Buloka. This whole idea of a cycle that we've forgotten is captured so perfectly in this quote from the Mahabharata, which our source mentions. Lord Krishna says to the warrior Arjuna, "I remember all of my births, but you do not." The implication is just staggering, that we've all lived so many times before, we just don't have the memory of our soul's incredibly long journey. And I love this next part. The text uses this really simple but powerful analogy to explain reincarnation. The physical body? It's temporary. It's like a set of clothes you wear and then just get rid of when they're worn out. The soul, though, that's the real you. It's the constant being that just keeps going, putting on a new body for each new life. Okay, so if the body is just a temporary outfit, what happens when the soul takes it off? This next section, Muranum Thraya, Atma Prayanum, or the soul's journey after death, gets right into that critical moment of transition. So the source makes this really important distinction between 2 kinds of bodies. You've got the gross body, that's the physical one we can see, made of the heavy elements, earth and water. That gets left behind. But then there's the subtle body. This is what the soul travels in after death. It's made of the lighter elements, ether, air, and fire, and it's totally invisible to our physical eyes. Think of it as the soul's vehicle for the next part of the journey. But can every soul just zip on up to the higher realms? Well, not exactly. According to the text, a soul's ability to ascend is tied directly to its karmic weight. The purer the karma, the less baggage it's carrying, and the lighter and freer the soul is to travel upward. So what exactly is this karmic weight? The text uses the term tamo pradana,
to describe a soul that's dominated by negative qualities like ignorance and inertia. All that negativity creates a kind of spiritual density, making the subtle body literally too heavy to lift off. It gets tethered to the lower planes. All right, so if negative karma is what's weighing the soul down, there has to be a solution, right? A way to lighten the load? Absolutely. The text outlines Pai Lo Ka Lulaket, Margam, the path to the higher realms. It's the how-to guide for a soul to achieve liberation. And the path is basically laid out in 3 stages. First, you have to gain knowledge, really understand what the soul is, and see through the illusion of Maya. Next, the soul has to connect with the divine, which means turning its focus inward, away from the distractions of the physical senses. And finally, it has to actively work to purify its actions, resolve all that past karma, and end the cycle for good. And what's the whole point? What's the final destination? The ultimate goal of this entire journey, as the Source describes it, is for the soul to return to its original true nature. You could say it's like returning to its factory settings, a state of pure peace, love, and sanctity that exists completely beyond the physical world.
And that leaves us with the final, really profound question that the Source wants us to think about. If this world we're in is just a temporary stage, and our true nature is actually divine, then is this journey of remembering who we are and returning to that state the true purpose of life?